In this week's episode, we welcome legendary music manager Steve Lobel. He came up on the East Coast under Russell Simmons and Lyor Cohen under Def Jam Records. He was tour manager for RUN DMC, has managed Bone Thugs-n-Harmony for the entirety of their career, and he currently manages multi-Grammy winning producer Scott Storch. He also discovered and managed Nipsey Hussle for the early part of his career. Welcome everybody to the Hustle Sanctuary. I'm your host, Samson Schulman. In this podcast, we go behind the curtain of the modern day hustle. We peel back the layers and have raw and honest conversations with a variety of intriguing guests, from professional athletes to local chefs, to famous musicians and actors to everyday seekers. We do a deep dive into how we navigate life and career transitions and the inevitable gifts and hardships that come along the way. All right, welcome everybody to a very special episode. Today we have my man Steve Lobel in the building.
How you doing, man?
Hip-hop legend, is that safe?
Thanks for having me, yeah.
I always like to dive in, like, where'd you grow up? Tell us about, your background, your history.
Yeah, I mean, I started, I come from Queens, New York.
Okay.
Jamaica. And I try to tell people, like, never forget where you come from. Mm-hmm. I'm not from Los Angeles, but I've been living out here for 2 decades. So I don't forget where I come from Queens, New York. I grew up in Queens with RUN DMC and the late great Jam Master Jay. Russell Simmons is my mentor.
How did you get your first, job in the business, or how did you link with Russell?
Yeah, well, I grew up with RUN DMC and Jam Master Jay, and actually Jam Master Jay put me in the game. So if any interview that you ever Google and watching me, I'm always saluting Jam Master Jay, trying to keep his memory alive. A lot of these younger kids don't really know who he is. Mm-hmm. A lot of these young DJs don't know who he is. Mm-hmm. So I try to do that. But, I grew up with them in Queens. I was always around RUN DMC and Jam Master Jay and Def Jam and Rush Management, going on the road, and got to watch Russell Simmons in action, Lyor Cohen in action. Kevin Liles was, an intern, now, became huge. So I watched a lot of it. This was about over 30 years ago. And from there, I was like, how do I make money in this? I was just being around, like carrying bags, driving the van, doing whatever it takes. And I was like, wow, this is cool, but how do I make money? And I was young. So I was like, it's cool. I traveled around the country with RUN DMC and did certain things that were really cool, parties and stuff, but I needed to make money. So I didn't think this was the right avenue.
It wasn't happening fast enough for you. Did you get impatient? Like,
yeah.
When am I going to get my turn?
I'm still impatient. I have no patience. But I learned that, patience and sacrifice equals success. Mm-hmm. But I definitely wasn't patient. I couldn't sit in class at school, in high school. I had always had a Sunkist orange soda and a Snickers bar in the morning. So a fucking sugar rush. So I couldn't sit in school. So I graduated with a GED. Mm-hmm. I'm self-taught, self-made, self-educated. And I had no patience, but you need a lot of patience. And I didn't do this to figure out what my end game was then. I didn't figure out what I was going to do then. I just went with the flow.
Mm-hmm. You didn't know what you were.
No, still don't know.
That's great, man. And how important, talking about mentorship.
Yeah, I feel like everybody should have a mentor. I do a lot of motivational speaking in colleges and high schools and juvenile halls and drug rehab centers, and I talk to kids about mentorship. A lot of kids don't know what a mentor is. Mm-hmm. My mentor is my dad, like I said, Russell Simmons. I go events with Russell. He be the black tie fan. He come in with the shell toes on. He's like, we don't change. We don't change. Always be ourselves. So that's how I live my life. I don't change up when I'm in another environment. I'm always me. Right. I try to tell people, always be yourself. Yeah. Anybody who knows me for decades know I'm still the same. I don't follow trends. I'm a leader, not a follower. I don't follow people. But I learn from people. Yeah. So, that was the scenario.
And you've been around a lot of years talking about don't change. I'm sure you've seen a lot of people come up in the game who did change, maybe when success found them.
Yeah. People get amnesia. Right. That's the worst, man, when you put a lot of years of your life into an artist to build their artist career, mm-hmm. and then they get a little fame or money and they get amnesia or they forget where they come from. I never changed. I remain humble because I know everything goes up must come down. Mm. At the end of the day, we're all human. I feel like we're all the same. Just certain people have, more money than others or more fame than others. But I'm not a groupie or a fan, or a dick rider or a yes man. So I judge everybody the same because we're in a county jail together in a cell. You have to be the same.
Right.
So that's how I judge everything.
Yeah, that's great.
Is the hustle in New York different than the hustle in LA? And if so, how?
I mean, that's a great question. If, the saying is, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. New York taught me everything. New York raised me who I am, and that grind. Like in the winter, I shovel snow,
right,
or rake leaves. I delivered newspapers. I washed dishes. I was a busboy. It made me have that grind. Every time I needed something, my father would say, "If you want that, go work for it." So that New York hustle, and there's a lot of people from around the world, when they go to New York, they love it or hate it.
Right,
that shit can give you a heart attack. It's like a lot of movement, it's a lot of action. So when I came out here, I just felt like, no disrespect to anybody in LA, I love it, but I felt like my New York hustle would make it different. Now, when you go to the supermarket, you're in a rush, and you're like, "Yo, what's wrong?" I'm like, "Shit, I'm from New York, I'm in a rush." Everybody's slower. I think the weed makes everybody slower.
Right.
The weather makes everybody slower. No one's in a rush. So it's a different thing, but I wound up staying out here way before like the Puffies and the Russells and the 50s moved out here. I was able out here. I built a lot of relationships out here. New Yorkers, you love them or hate them. People get intimidated by me. I'm very blunt. I tell you how it is. I ain't got time for no bullshit. But if you're from New York and East Coast, you understand that.
Right.
In LA, depending where you're at, like if you go to South Central or you go to the Deep Valley where people grew up here, they're real. But it's Hollywood.
Right.
It's the Hollywood scene that everybody's trying to, be someone else or look in your face, tell you this, but not look in your eyes, or tell you this because it's just fake as fuck. And that's the worst part of LA that I don't like. But, New York, again, or a New Yorker, we're very blunt and straightforward. We tell it how it is. And I'd rather have that than someone telling me some lies and bullshit.
Right. Absolutely.
What was it like, developing artists back in the day versus, developing artists today?
I mean, that's a great question. I mean, I just feel like this, that everything changes every 5 years, right? It's a new basketball player, a new rapper, new producer, a new actress, a new actor, a new car. So you have to be able to not follow, but, elevate and be innovative, creative, and go through the evolution, so to speak. I guess I'm a dinosaur, but on fossil fuel because I stay relevant. So back in the days, to promote a record, you get in a van, all these kids are on private jets on Instagram, like these rappers just to go do shows. And I'm like, is this really true? Is this fronting, or is this you're just wasting your money? You don't have a great advisor. Who are you impressing? But at the end of the day, we'd get in a van and we would drive, because Fat Joe wouldn't fly, say from New York to Cleveland, Detroit, Chicago. And you would go in the market and really work in that market and corner that market. Now it's more of like, let's push a button. It's more of like, let's get the song on YouTube or Spotify. It changed.
I think people want it instantly today.
They want it instantly because of the internet. I felt like the internet was a gift and a curse. And at the end of the day, the difference is now that everybody's using their social media more so, and I feel like the younger generation doesn't know how to really grind like the older generation did, because we had to go really work. Now it's like your record can go to radio, your record can go straight to the streaming service. You just press a button, you can get somebody to shoot a video, put it up online, so on and so forth. So again, I feel like it's a gift and a curse. There's so much goddamn music out there, like you don't even know what's hot no more, or you don't even know what to choose from.
Right, SoundCloud rap.
It's all over the place.
Right.
You've been in the game so many years.
Yeah.
Was there artists that got slept on that you couldn't believe they got slept on and they blew up later?
I mean, most people in this game are followers, not leaders. I respect the person that when they see that right there at that moment, they're like, you know what? I don't care what anybody else thinks. I'm not going to worry about the numbers, how many followers they have. I'm just going to go off based off that talent. And I think that 300 Entertainment is doing a great job with that right now. But when we put Nipsey Hussle on, everybody laughed at us. They're like, oh, it's Snoop Dogg look alike, Rolling 60 Crip, oh, it's never going to work. Now Nipsey's like one of the biggest artists, and he still didn't get that #1 record or even put out an album. But again, people didn't believe. I was there when Justin Bieber couldn't even get a deal, and Scooter Braun had him in Epic, Sony. Me and Nipsey were there, and can't get a deal, and all the A&Rs were like, he needs Hollywood or Disney. You know what I mean? Then he blows up, and everybody jumps on the bandwagon. But that's unfortunately, that's what life's about. And I've been with Bone for 24 years and did most of their collabs, like the Bone and Big E's and the Riding Dirty with Chamillionaire. But the new generation is the new generation. I think that it's more hype these days.
Right.
like, no disrespect, but like, how does Kylie Kardashian or Kylie Jenner have 80 million followers? What's her resume? What's her stripes? Like, I'm confused. Like, I don't understand that. 80 million followers, what have you done? You're 18 years old. So I feel like, you know, the young society or everybody, we're quick to run to social media to see what's going on and worry about who's broke, who's rich, who's fucking who's beefing with who. Like, that shit is corny to me. Like, I'm on social media, but I don't care about certain things. Like, and I think that our society's fucked up. We're worried about all that type of stuff. Instead of worrying about people that are around this world, like, don't have shoes, or don't have running water, or don't have food on the table, or don't even have fucking, you know, a car to drive. You know, we take a lot of shit for granted. We take so much shit for granted
100%.
that it's ridiculous. We take it all fucking for granted. Because we're living in such a society of stereotyping people that if I go to a restaurant, they look at you funny, but if you come with this one, they look at you different, and then they're on your dick because you got a celebrity with you. But when you didn't come with the celebrity, it's just weird. Like, people judge you for what kind of watch you have, what kind of car you driving. The Benz and the Rolex don't make me. What makes me is my loyalty and my integrity, my principles, and my morals. But unfortunately, that's what society is so fucked up. So again, if you're trying to rap and you don't know this, and I do say this, and again, I am a white Jewish guy. If America would accept black people like they accept black music, it'd be a different ballgame. Hip-hop culture. So many people are infatuated with it. And I got kids that I know that went to Syracuse. I just spoke up there. They just graduated. They're all dying to be in the music business. All of them. And they have the opportunity to go to law school or go work with OVO. And they're going to go work with OVO as an intern. Because they're so infatuated. Everybody's so infatuated with this hip-hop culture and business. Well, no.
But you're saying
culture.
Are you saying they're pursuing it for the wrong reasons, though?
Sometimes, yes, but they want to be in the culture and not even know what the culture is.
Absolutely.
That's the problem. You still understand something. The younger you are, the harder you got to work these days. Because there's so much competition out there.
Right.
The older you are, you figure like, oh, I'm a legend. I can chill. You got to work even harder now because you don't have a record deal. You're not selling records no more.
Yeah.
You got to go do your shows to make your living. It's the only way you're going to survive unless you diversify like a Jay-Z or someone else, like Ludacris into acting or so on and so forth. If not, you got to stand road touring. You're not selling records. You're not getting really publishing or selling records. And you got to compete with the younger kids. And the younger kids are working hard because it's the younger generation. And they just want to be cool. You have to understand something. Years and years ago, people would sell their soul and their mother down the river for a check. This generation, they'll sell their mother and best friend down the river just to be cool on social media. Because no one's teaching them ethics. Imagine people who work hard in any type of career or job to build a resume and build stripes. You build your shit up until you build it and then you retire off of that because you worked so hard.
Right.
So you're just coming out because you look good and you're a celebrity. We're all celebrities. We're all fucking celebrities.
Everybody's a celebrity?
We're all celebrities. You know why? Because we're all the same. If I slice you right now, you're bleeding red. You go to the bathroom, you drink water, you shit, you eat. We're all the same. We're all celebrities. Because I hate when I go out and I run into little kids with their parents and they're like, oh my God. I'm like, why you do? That's a celebrity. I'm like, I tell a little kid, you're a fucking celebrity. You're a celebrity. Because if we go and brainwash these young kids that we only gonna mess with this person because they're a celebrity, then what happens to the normal person? We all gotta be normal. And that's what I mean. Our fucking system is so fucked up that a celebrity is more important. Like, I manage celebrities, so to speak, or I manage rappers. We get so much stuff for free when really you can afford it.
Yeah, of course.
But the person who can't afford it has to go rob, steal, and beg maybe, or work their ass up to go buy something. That's backwards. Just so they can get a picture of, okay, Kylie Jenner wearing this shirt.
It's very refreshing sort of to have these conversations, especially within music. So I feel like in my experience, a lot of the music folks I've met, it's always about the charts, the social media, and it sounds like you have a very sort of balanced outlook on the world, really.
You have to be balanced.
Music and the world and this and that. So I just wanted to dive into that a bit. I mean, how valuable has that been to you in your career, the balance of just, world versus music business and relationships? And
I'll be honest with you. I mean, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Relationships is everything. And balance is the key to everything. And I will sit here and tell you humbly that my life had no balance when it came to my personal life. So that's why I'm not married. I have no children. I sacrificed and was selfish to myself for everybody else. And now as I get older, I realize like, fuck, I should have some more balance. Because I think I'd be a great father. My mother passed away 6 years ago. It made me wake up and realize that life is more than just fucking work and make money. My mother used to call me to come back for this holiday, this. And I would say, no, I'm over here chasing this, I'm doing this, I'm running over here, I'm over here. And when she passed away, I realized that family is the most important. Because remember, I had no family out here. And it was hard to go back and forth with them, chasing the money and chasing the industry and chasing all this other shit, traveling. I worked with artists network, touring all day long. So I'm seeing the world. I would have never seen the world if we never got a music industry. It's very, cost a lot to see the world. So I said, yeah, my regret was not spending time with my mother. I said, your mother alive? He said, yeah. I'm like, well, call her right now and tell her you love her and go see her and spend time with her. So everybody always says that to me about interviews. They're like, damn, he's right. That's some real shit. Because we take a lot of stuff for granted. So my personal life, I had no balance. But in the music industry, I had balance. And if you don't have balance in the music business or in life, you fuck.
I feel like most people don't have a whole lot of balance in the music business.
They're just chasing whatever at the moment. Everybody's for the moment, especially now.
Well, because it moves so fast, I feel like if you take that step back, you feel like you're going to be like left out.
But again, I've been in this game 3 decades, and if you follow my social media, my Instagram as we working, I talk a lot of throwbacks, and people are like, damn, Steve, you in a session with Bone and Biggie? Oh shit, you fucked with Run DMC back then? Oh shit, Pond, oh shit, nah. I'm like, yeah, I've been around it. I've watched it evolve. And to be honest with you, I'm scared of it now.
Really?
Because the newer generation has no integrity and no loyalty. And they just want to be cool, like I said. So I'm nervous to go spend 3-4 years with a new artist, and the next thing you know, they get amnesia, and they're like, I don't need you no more. Because everybody starts getting cocky or starts feeling themselves or not humble no more. And they're like, damn, what happened to the dude who was giving me his mixtape? And all of a sudden, got 8 security guards, you can't even get next to him and take a picture. Like, oh shit, what happened all of a sudden? You let that shit change you? So it scares me. Like, it's like a girl cheats on you, man. Like, I'm nervous, man. So that's why I'm my Steve Lobel consulting business. I'd rather consult than manage or put my life into you. And the next thing you know, like, well, I don't need you no more. I did it on my own. What? So it's scary.
You know, Sharon Osbourne had a quote about management. I want to see how it sits with you. She said, when it goes right, the artist sees it as themselves. And when it goes wrong, the artist sees it as the manager.
Yeah. When they see it, when they get the success they need, they're like, oh, I did it myself.
Right.
And this goes to team. Together, everybody achieves more. Right. If you go sit with Jay-Z or anybody like that level, they'll say, man, I needed a team. Like Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, they're not going to say they did it by themselves. It's a team. But a lot of these artists are like, I don't need a team. I can do it myself. I don't need you. And then when they do it with you, then they forgot. Like, but then when it goes bad, they start pointing fingers.
Let's talk about, you recently started working with Scott Storch, right? Who's legendary
Scott for a year.
Too many number ones to count. What did you see in Scott that made you want to work with him? Or
I mean, straight to the point, I didn't say nothing. Basically, I have a show called Live with Steve Lobel. And I just went out and interviewed a lot of people. I have a great Rolodex. I wanted to interview Scott for my talk show. I thought it'd be dope because I was mixing up after I started doing the younger generation, started doing legacy. So I went to his house and interviewed him. A couple days later, he's like, yo, you want to manage me? And I never managed really a producer. I was like, all right, fuck it. He asked me for Dr. Dre's number. No, I wanted to give him Dr. Dre's number. He wanted to fix that relationship. I gave him Dr. Dre's number. I'm like, fuck it, I have Dre's number, but maybe I'll use it, maybe I won't. But I always have people's numbers. Always when I run into people I know, like, yo, we get to know, make sure it's good. Gave it to him, started managing him. And it's been a year and a couple months now, and we've been going hard.
Were you weary at all, sort of given, the history of Scott?
There was no history. The only history I knew is that the man had a lot of money and lost it, which a lot of people went through. Trump did that, Russell Simmons. Like a real hustler gets money, loses money, makes it back.
Yeah.
Loses again, makes it again. And then he was on drugs. But how many people we know are on drugs? Like, come on. I worked with Steven Adler from Guns N' Roses. He's on every fucking drug you can imagine. I saved his life.
Wow.
I saved Steven Adler from Guns N' Roses' life.
Wow.
So, I didn't think about that. I didn't really care about the stories. I just know that I knew Scott for years, that, I loved a lot of his work. I ran through some of his past. We never worked together. I never really used him for any of my projects. And that I didn't think about what went on in the past. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll take this challenge on.
Yeah.
If it is a challenge, and then someone said to me, "Oh, good luck over there." And I was like, once they said that, I'm like, "Oh, okay, fuck it. I like to prove points."
Absolutely.
And then I just started working with him, and we're like brothers, and we argue because he's stuck in his ways and he's used to one ways, but the industry has changed. So I let him know that the money's not the same, and he trusted me. And everybody I call him and say I'm bringing over, he's like, "Fuck it." And I've had him work with every young artist you could imagine right now. It's a different ballgame, so we have to go in and prove ourselves because there's no front end money. So we have to go in, work, and if you deliver, then they buy it.
And then buy it.
But they're not buying it for $200,000.
He's not used to that.
Okay.
No, he's not used to that method, but he's able to fall into that method. You have to understand, that goes back to the question of changing with the times.
Yeah.
Nothing lasts forever.
Absolutely.
Nothing
That's
lasts
how you
forever.
adapt.
The saying says evolve or evaporate.
Again, it goes back to the relevancy of the younger kids.
They're looking at Metro.
They're like, oh, I'm looking at Metro Boomin, I'm looking at Mustard, I'm looking at Murder Beats,
Yeah.
I'm looking at, London on the Track. Okay, I'm gonna play your game. Yo, Mustard, what up? Now, let's work with Scott. Yeah, let's do it. We work with Mustard, Metro Boomin, hit him up. Scott worked with Metro Boomin. We just did something with London on the Track. London on the Track's like, oh, you're the idol of mine. I want to always work with you. We got a track coming on the Young Doug album.
Nice.
Murder Beats, had him over at Scott's house before Murder got all his records popping. We had him over there. They did some shit together. So at the end of the day, you have to understand that people want to go with the younger shit. But again, like, okay, Scott comes from around the Pharrells, the Timberlands, the Swiss Beats, the Just Blazes. Those guys, like Swiss is doing art. Pharrell's doing G-Star.
Yeah.
All of these other producers. Scott, come up with diversified. Scott just produces.
Right.
So at that time, if he's just producing, he's not diversifying like them. Because you don't really hear a lot of the names I just mentioned on the radio right now. We'll probably get better placements with these younger dudes. But at the end of the day, I was just being innovative and creative and calling my relationships and saying, yo, Metro, work with Scott. And London on the Track, work with Scott. And that's what happened. Because at the first initial time, they're like, oh shit, that's like a dream. Oh shit, Scott Storch, I just want to be in a session with him. And if you chilled the first time, they're going to come back. But if Scott didn't deliver, they're not coming back. But he delivers.
We got a lot of different, viewers and listeners. I want to make sure we keep it broad, because a lot of what we're saying right now applies to every industry.
Of course.
So, talk to us about.
Lately I've been wanting to throw a towel on.
Wow. Okay.
Why? Because I want to live my life. And I'm 51. I know I look 38. But I want to throw the towel in because as I'm getting to my age and older, I'm seeing a lot of my peers passing away from the stress of the music industry. Like even Q from Worldstar just passed away. The stress. A lot of this stuff is stress. And what people don't understand is this business, it's a lot of stress, especially as a manager. So I get nervous because, I used to wake up every day with an itinerary and a schedule. And, my success has been on follow-up. That's why I'm here, because we followed up. A lot of people don't follow up. I don't take no for an answer. Common sense, which is not common. Communication and organization. So the point is that, I'm just like seeing people like passing off, getting older. And I'm just like, I want to enjoy life because if I pass tomorrow, I'm just a memory. And, some people keep my name alive. And then after that, I'm gone. You only hit once. The time to live is the time to die, like my dad says. So now as I'm getting older, like, shit, I need to start enjoying life because I used to wake up in the morning like, yo, I have to do this, and this, and make this money. Now I wake up like, first of all, thank God I'm alive. And I try to drink a lot of water, and I hike and work out, do exercise, because as you get older. So, but I do have a structure. That's why I'm here, because we followed up, and I put it in my calendar. But I don't wake up every day like, like how much money am I making today, or what's this and what's that, because that again stresses you. So I feel like sometimes like I'm cheating myself. I don't have a child, my wife. I didn't get to enjoy life. I was enjoying life for the other person or the client or the artist. And that I want to do certain things now with my life. I used to tour with every artist and we go around the world. I'm like, yo, let's get out the hotel room and go see shit. We might never come back to the state or country, or you might not ever hit record again. And they're like, no, I'm good. And till this day, some of them like, damn, I should listen to you. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get the bodyguard or whoever, like, let's go fucking sightsee. Because fuck it, we should be blessed that we're here. So lately I've been saying, like, I'm just seeing how this game is and the money's not like it used to be and stuff. Like, maybe I need to fade away from this because I want to be selfish to myself now. And God forbid, this fucking stress will kill me because I deal with a lot of stress. So that's what I thought about. Now coming through my life and my career, as you saying, was there any obstacles or anything that you wanted to say, fuck it, you were saying, or just say, fuck? Tons of it. Of course, you know, first of all, being a white guy in the music industry, I had to deal with a lot of that. I had to gain my respect. I've been through everything, that every obstacle you can imagine. Like, you just want to throw the towel in. You want to kill yourself. You want to say, fuck it. You want to go beat the shit out of this one. Or you just want to say, I'm going to blast this motherfucker, you know, on social media. There's a lot of things. But you know, I just put myself in God's hands and I just pray to God and let's get out of it. And try to stay as positive as possible, even though I deal with a lot of negative.
That's real. That's real.
I'm real as in calm, I feel, not fake.
And when you were saying all that, Steve, I thought, you know, R.I.P. Chris Lighty, you know, legend, right?
Oh,
you know?
shit.
And were you guys, you know, friends at any point?
Yeah, look, it's R.I.P. to a lot of people. There's people dying every second around the world. They're just not talked about. It's like, you know what's funny? Someone said once, like, why we always salute someone after they die on social media, throwing a picture of? Why don't we salute them while they're alive?
A lot of people, it's a trend, right?
Yeah.
Everyone became a Rob Williams fan.
Yeah, I knew Chris Lighty a long time. I know it was baby Chris, of course.
But that was stress. Well, I feel like that's ultimately stress.
You know, look, I thought about it to commit suicide once. I was stressed the fuck out, you know, but I was stressed out more that my mom died. I was with a girl, we broke up. A lot of shit, I just felt like I was down. You know what, fuck it. So, you know, people think like that sometimes. You know, the strongest of the strongest. But, you know, I prayed to God and I didn't do it. Because I'm like, you know what, life is priceless and you're here once, let's make the best of it. I just need to do that. But me and Chris were cool. Yeah, me and Chris was cool.
Yeah, I figured you guys would be. But the music industry adds a ton of fucking stress that
people don't see.
Yeah, it's just full of.
People don't really see, man. If you talk to a real guy who's been in the game, or a real manager dealing with a lot of stuff, I always say to Scooter Braun, like, how the fuck you deal with this shit? I tell him, like, how do you be a father, be a husband, and juggle all that stuff, and travel in it? How do you do it? He goes, you got a great woman. Because most people in the music industry get divorced and don't stay married. Especially in our era that I was coming up. I always tell him like that, yo, I love that about you, bro. I love that about you. He says, wow, thanks. I said, I noticed that. That's what I noticed. I don't give a fuck about anything else.
We got a few staple questions we ask our guests. You know, one of the questions is talk to us about ego. And, you know,
oh my God.
Let's go.
I posted some shit. I posted some shit, man. Not going. Yo, ego is the worst, man. It kills everything. It fucks everything up. It turns me off. It turns a lot of people off. And ego will kill everything, man. I always say to myself, remember, man, you're not gonna be hot forever, so you're gonna get cold eventually. Like, I want to find this thing that I said. You know, I put up things like I sleep good at night, knowing I've done no sucker shit to be accepted. You know what I mean? I humble yourself because you're gonna get cold. And I wrote that, you know, always remember everything goes up, comes down. So remain humble. You can't be hot all the time. No egos. You know, and egos kill. And a lot of people don't want to work with people who got big fucking egos. I always say this to people: what is success? Because success could be as a college graduation. Success to that man over there could be getting married. Success to you could be having a child. Success to most of the people is having a hit record or having 1 million followers or YouTube or getting my first car. Success is, you know, graduating from college or getting a new car or owning a house. That could be success. So success is a lot of different things. That's why I say money comes and goes, but history stays. As long as you make history, you're going to make money. And patience and sacrifice equals success. What is success to you? Back then, I thought success was like money or a plaque or a hit record or an accolade or buying my first house or getting a new car. Now, to me, success is being happy.
100%. I mean,
that's real.
Sometimes we do a lot of things and we're not happy, we're miserable.
That's real.
When you're not doing the hustle of managing in the music business, I mean, what is it? You said hiking. What keeps me going now, and this has just been happening in the last 6 months, that I changed my lifestyle because I've seen a lot of people passing. What I enjoy to do is I like to enjoy hiking because I never really exercise, but now I'm like, fuck this, I got to exercise. Stress kills.
I love football. But I was just saying this the other day to someone I knew, like, hey, man, I'm going to call the Rams and see if I can be a water boy. Because I love football so much. I humble myself because I'm very humble, but I'll go do that to try to climb up the ladder around the Rams organization because I love football. And I want to get out the music industry. These are the things that I think about. I love, helping kids. I'm like, maybe I need to go be a correction officer because the youth is fucked up.
Yeah.
I do a lot of motivational speaking. But I do that. I like to ride horses. And I just like to, just now just really like chill.
Absolutely.
Because I never chilled.
I feel like the listeners will be mad if I didn't ask this. Like, Russell's a legend, right? Russell Simmons. I'd like to know, you said he's a mentor to you.
Yeah.
Tell us, like, what is the biggest, piece of wisdom that you've attained from being around
Always
Russell?
be yourself.
Really?
Always be yourself.
That's the number one thing from Russell.
Don't change. Don't change for somebody or an environment. Either you're gonna love me for who I am, or you're just not gonna fuck with me. If you're with a girl, she needs to love you for you.
Right.
If that's your homie, she needs to love you for you, not for what you're driving, how much money you have, or what this and that. And that's pure conditional. No, that's unconditional. So never change. I never change for nobody. I'm myself at all times. And that's the best advice that I feel like I'm just me at all times. Either you love me or hate me for me. Most people love me for me.
What's one big realization you made, in the last, say, 5 years? What's one something where your mindset shifted in the last 5 years? I think you already mentioned it, which is you want to just enjoy life more, right?
Yeah.
That's the same.
Realization is that, family is the most important. And that's why I go back and spend a lot of time with my dad now. A lot of people who follow me know OG Ted, like, Snoop, Puffy, Buster, are all like, how's OG Ted? I love seeing you with your dad because I wasn't around a lot. I've been out here for 20 years. I missed a lot of time with my dad and my mother passed. I woke up and realized, to the realization that, my dad, I only got one dad. He's only going to be here. He's 83 right now. So I realized that, family is important to spend time, with your family, your quality time. And I realized that less is more. That quality over quantity.
Absolutely.
Hopefully I answered a lot of your questions with the best of my ability. That's knowledge.
Absolutely.
Knowledge and experience goes farther than anything else.
Again, the hotness comes and goes, you're saying, right?
Yeah. I stay warm. I'd rather stay warm.
Absolutely.
I'd rather stay warm, man. And then it's cold on the block, so I'd rather stay warm.
That's real shit.
I'll microwave it.
Well, thank you, Steve.
All right.